Hi, everybody. It's Jules, and I'm so happy to be here with you today and really excited about the very special guest that we have live on today's segment. His name is Matt Riemann, and he is the CEO and founder of PH360. Matt began his healing journey many, many years ago when he was diagnosed with a terminal genetic illness. And as the years progressed and he examined all sorts of different pathways of all sorts of different healings, he really came down to synthesizing and channeling what really works when your body is out of balance and you really need some healing in any part of your body, mind, or spirit. And so we're really lucky to have Matt here today. He's a testament to how healing works. And Matt, I'd love to welcome you to the show. How are you?
Thank you, Jules. It's really great to be here, and I'm excited to share a lot about what we have as experiences for people to be able to have their own journeys, just like I did in my path.
Awesome. Well, so Matt, the big question that people always want to know is, I think that there's a lot of versions of what healing really means out there. And so I'd love to hear your take on, kind of the why. Why do we need healing, or what could be going on that might cause us to be in that place?
Yeah, it's a great question, Jules. And I think one of the conversations that we can have right now is about everybody is on their own journey. Everybody's at a different place and space in time. And what we're really bringing to awareness here is that everybody's very different and everybody's very unique. And not just in our physical bodies, which is a conversation we talk about a lot, all different physical shapes and sizes, but we also have very different minds, and we have different cultures, different belief systems, different things that engage us or excite us or annoy us or frustrate us. And we also have very different spiritual paths and journeys that we're on. And this conversation about uniqueness in all the different planes is a really important one. And when we look at that, we are all on this journey. And often along the way that we have a lot of challenges that may show up or obstacles that we may see. And it's really important to know that there's a great network around of people to support you on that. And we're here in that capacity actually to understand where people are on their journey, how unique you are in terms of the actual body shape and size that you have, how unique you are in terms of your mind and how it works, and how unique you are in terms of your spiritual journey. And we'd like to be able to assist as much as we can with anyone who's encountering issues or blocks or disruptions along their journey. And we have the gifts and abilities to be able to do that. We have the science and medicine to be able to back that up. And it's a really exciting conversation that we can have now to be able to assist so many people, as we've been running now for quite a number of years, these retreats and experiences and immersions to be able to help people on their journey.
That's great. People are going to want to know, just to give us a nutshell of what is PH360 and why did you focus on that and bring that out to the general public?
Well, PH360 is just a concept and a philosophy actually about how unique you are. And it really is, it stands for Personal Health 360 for those that don't know. And it's looking at your health from a very 360-degree point of view. And it really is looking at the different areas in your life that can influence the way that you can actually have your genes expressed. And that's kind of as detailed as we get in science and medicine these days. And so I want to go down to the depths of how we can actually change your gene expression, literally flick them on and off like light switches. And it turns out there's 6 major categories or 6 major areas that influences us in day-to-day life. And it's the foods that we eat, that we put in our mouth. It's the exercise that we do or that we don't do. It's our environment and our climate and our lifestyle that's there. It's our social interactions and the people that we hang out with. We now know stress is the #1 cause and killer of disease in the world. And it's our natural talents, our natural genius that we're born with. And are we a guitarist trying to be an accountant, or an accountant trying to be a guitarist? And it's our mind. It's the way that we actually work. It's the way that we perceive the world and the way that we interact with everybody around us. And so these 6 main areas, which have been proven in science and medicine, actually influence the way that your genes are expressed at any point in time and actually indicate the different hormone levels, the different neurotransmitters, and the engagement of what's happening in your body in terms of a biochemical conversation. So we can now understand that we can influence all those things. We can influence those in a very significant way. And over 90% of our health status at any point in time is determined by the balance of these 6 main areas. And so we've been able to quantify that. This is what PH360 is as a tool. It can help you quantify these 6 areas, these 6 epigenetic areas in your life. It can help give you insight as to which things are going to be best for you to eat, or how to move your body, the best times of day to do all these sorts of things, even the best people to hang out with and social interactions that will reduce your stress rather than increase it. So incredible advice based on your gene expression in these areas to be able to help you live a healthy, happy life. And so that's what pH360 is as a tool, is literally a platform or a program. It's a technology that can really help you see exactly literally a specific food that's going to be best for you to switch your good genes on and your bad genes off, or a specific exercise to do. But the actual conversation about pH360 is it's a concept and a philosophy. And our message behind that is that you're unique, you're different, you are not the same as anyone else. There's 7.5 billion people on the planet. Everybody is 100% different. So please go ahead and find out who you are and what's right for you to be healthy and happy. And we have that tool to be able to assist you with that in the process. So that's a little bit about pH360. It was part of my journey, specifically looking at the different things. And the two things, particularly for me, it turned out I was having far too much protein in my diet, even though I was working out regularly and following all the standard protocols. And I was actually living in a climate that wasn't right for me. And so changing those two things significantly influenced my health in a very, very dramatic way. And was able to help express my genes differently. And that's possible for all of us too. So we're excited. We're having these conversations. At this point in time, we're in 89 countries now, Jules, and it's a really exciting conversation to see this grow. We're consulting with really great organisations like United Nations, World Health Organization, many other governments around the world. It's a very progressive conversation, and it's very much time to understand that the same healthy fruits and vegetables don't work the same for each body. And the same exercises don't work the same for everybody. So some people may walk their 30 minutes a day and end up with great health, and some people may end up with back and knee problems. Or we now know that tomatoes can contribute towards cancer as well as prevent it. It doesn't matter so much about the food. Is the food good, or is the exercise good, or is the brain training technique good? It's about how does it work with your unique and specific body, and that really is the conversation we're having with pH360.
Wow. That's taking it far beyond where the current mode is, which is, this diet, this way of life, this one for everybody. So you're really, literally taking it down to where every single person has their own specific plan. If I heard you correctly, that's what you said, right?
Exactly. It's really, I guess, debunking a lot of the the fads that are out there, and this is fads from a big point of view. It's the whole of our government system that followed the low fat diet for many years, and then realized that wasn't so good. At the moment, it's sugar that's the bad guy, and obviously processed and refined sugars aren't great for anyone. But natural sugars are kind of given the victim role as well. So it's about these sort of bigger waving concepts and philosophies that we're understanding aren't actually accurate in the conversation. It just depends on who you are. Some people need specific sugars to keep their brain active. Other people should be avoiding more sugars because of their pancreas and other predispositions for risks of disease like diabetes. So it depends on who you are and where you're at as to what's good for you and what's not good for you. Some people need high fats in their diet. Some people actually need low fats in their diets. Some people are fantastic for the paleo diet. Other people are fantastic for the Mediterranean diet. Other people are fantastic for being vegetarian and vegan. So everything is right is our real message, that no one's wrong. Everybody's right, but it just depends on who you are, where you're at in your specific journey as to what's the best thing for you at this moment in time. And then know that changes as you change. We're a very dynamic, interactive system as a human body. We're not just a static system that should eat the same diet forever or do the same exercise program. We're always changing, and so we need to be aware that we're always changing. We need to adapt to that, even if you do nothing. And if you did the same job and had the same level of stress and the same partner and the same circumstances, even if it changed from summer to winter, you're a different person just because of the weather around you. And so it's really important to understand that we need to adapt to our dynamic, changing environment just as much as we are, because our environment and lifestyle actually dictate a lot of who we are in our health and medicine.
Wow, this is a super exciting conversation, because so many people who didn't know what to do have this option now that they can know specifically for their body what's right. And that's amazing. Now, another thing I've heard you talking about a lot is the immersion into your own personal plan, or what's best for your body, or how you function at your highest optimal rate. And I wondered if you could go into a little bit about that, about the immersion aspect.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, what we've found, Jules, over time, where our bigger mission here is to work towards the elimination of all chronic pain and disease from the planet by 2050. And it's really exciting to see a lot of the bigger people behind Facebook and other conversations now getting on board this. It's really, really exciting time for humanity. And what we've found over our time is we're really bringing such a great conversation about prevention to people right now, is to say, we can show you all these things in your life that you can actually change now to avoid getting the diseases that come. We know that most of our disease states that we have are preventable and reversible, and we have a lot of information for that. But we've also found that it's very hard for some people to actually change that and make that difference. Even if we can give them all the things to do, here's the exact list of what to do, it's still hard for some people to actually go and do that. For various reasons. And it comes down to your innate biology and physiology, actually. If you're in this situation, listen to this, it's not actually your fault. It's just how you design. And so now that we understand that, we're able to have a better conversation and a better engagement with people in this position. And so what that means is we've gone through and developed some technologies that have been able to assist that. We've actually got Shay, who's a virtual health assistant that can really help people understand and to really connect with people, and to almost do health without thinking. It's can actually think in advance for you, can take the foods or the exercise and other things and deliver it to you via a message on your smartphone or via a voice conversation that's there. So we're coming up with these technologies to really help. How can we help people actually immerse in their health and actually achieve the outcomes they're looking for if they're in a place, in a space where it's really hard for them to do that themselves? What we've found is one of the biggest things actually is a real immersion experience for people to have in their health and in their wellness, to be able to have that catalyst for change. And so we shared at the start of this call that there's a lot of reasons why people might not be able to progress on their path that they are here on this journey. And we're able to see that and help identify that. And one of the biggest things that can help change is to be around a group of people in the right space that can actually see that in you and can actually pick out specific things in your journey that they can talk you through. And this may be something from stress and the need for a detox protocol from stress, or from a diet protocol. It may be stress that's in your immune system, it may be stress that's in your liver or your kidneys. This may be stress that's in your psyche, psychological stress. But to be able to identify those things with a very qualified and trained team is what we do. We're a whole network of health and medicine professionals that are here to help in any way that we can. And we can identify these things and help change some of those. And so, for example, this may be something that someone needs to detox from stress, and there's certain protocols for different bodies that are really important to do. There's not one detox that every body can do and have the same outcome. Again, that's our really obvious and clear message. It's really is becoming a common sense message. Of course, if someone's 6 foot tall versus someone who's 5 foot tall, they're going to process the same 5 pounds of meat in a different way. It's just common sense the way we talk about it. But we have specific protocols for detoxifying the body in different ways. We know that certain people will be predisposed to needing detoxification of maybe if it's liver or kidneys, other people it may be stomach or intestine, other people it may be the nervous system. And in understanding that, there's different protocols even for those different people. And so we've gone and designed a whole heap of detox experiences that people can have that are very, very unique to you and your circumstances and what you need. And most of the time people, A, don't even know if they need a detox, and B, if you do, you don't even know where to start. You just do what you can find, either usually a free version on the net or what someone else did, and you'll follow that. It's a bit like looking at your friend who did the paleo diet and got a great result, and so you say, I better do the paleo diet because I'll get the same, but then it didn't work for me because I'm a different body. So we have individual detox experiences that we actually run for people, and we have a number of those experiences that happen around the world that people can find out about, and people can come and join that. They're anywhere up to 7 days and sometimes 14 days for people to be able to go through that. And for example, depending on which body type you are, if you're someone who is broader boned and taller in height often, if you have a larger mass of bone mass, of muscle mass and of fat mass, then your detoxification may need to have removal of certain sugars, natural sugars as well. You may need to go on some certain protocols like a lot of broths and understanding that, and an exercise program that's very, very suited to you while you're doing that because of the systems that are happening in the background. So if you're someone else who, and that's something that may be a full 7 to 10 days, it's a really important protocol for you to do, versus someone else who is a different body shape and size. Let's say you're someone who is generally more lean and muscular, has a sort of moderate shape, is the fairly hourglass type. For you to do fasting or detoxing protocol is not very healthy for you to do a very long time. In fact, sometimes 3 days would be about the maximum that you want to do. And because of predispositions in your system, which may be more to do with gallbladder, maybe more to do with stomach and other intestinal issues, we'll maybe do a protocol of reducing fats and reducing proteins out of your diet for a period of 3 days or 5 days. Now, if you're someone who's taller and thinner, we may be looking at a detox for you. Maybe actually just skipping 1 meal a day over those protocols and doing like a sort of short intermittent fasting protocol where you can have some natural sugars to feed your brain and the rest of things to balance it out. So it depends completely on where you are and who you are in your actual journey for this detox experience. But it's really important to know that you're different and that not every detox experience is the same, and not every detox is meant for everybody. In fact, detox protocols can be quite harmful and have the opposite effect for those that don't realize who they are and they're trying to just do a protocol they found across the net. So it's a fairly early stage in science and medicine as to how detoxes work so well for the body. We're really excited to be able to pioneer these aspects in these conversations, so we can really bring a very individualized and personalized conversation about detox experiences to you. And we're excited about doing that, Jules. So that's kind of the first area here that we can talk about is those pathways. The second area, if you don't mind me still talking, I don't know if you want to ask any questions, Jules, or not.
I did have a quick question for
Sure.
people that are listening to this. What sort of signals or signs would they have currently that they might be experiencing that would indicate, wow, that a detox would be really beneficial for them?
Yeah, well, it's different for different people, but some of the symptoms you may be experiencing, if you have lethargy, if you don't have much energy, if you get out of bed and you feel like you're still tired in the mornings, and that happens throughout the day. If you're tired in the afternoons after lunchtime and you feel like you can't get your energy back. If you're not sleeping very well, is a really good sign that you need to have a bit of a detox for your pathways. If you're suffering from any pain, like if you have chronic pain that's been there for quite a long time, weight loss is a big conversation there. If you feel like you're outside of your natural body shape and you need to get back, often a detox is really important because the body system naturally works in harmony with each other. And often if there's a bit of a clog in the system, it can cause other areas to go out of balance. And that's why we tend to be overweight or don't sleep well. Maybe we don't have as much energy as what we want. Maybe we have the pain that's there. So these are the things that are a part of it. Digestion is another one. If your digestion's not working, if you have a lot of bloating or a lot of diarrhea, if you feel a lot of cramping or other things around foods you eat in time of meals. So there are a few of the symptoms that you might find if you need a detox. And the last one probably to mention is some brain fog. If you feel like you can't concentrate so well, or your memory's not as good as what it used to be, or you're not processing things quite as fast, that's a really good indicator that a detox protocol is warranted. But again, it needs to be a detox protocol that's right for you. So we really encourage you guys to have a conversation with us. We'd love to talk with you about it and to see what's right for you. And we'll always match up and make sure it's a specific time and protocol for you before we have a conversation about joining us for an experience.
And one of the things I've heard people say who have previously been to one of the detox experiences is that they had no idea that they were even as tired as they were, because now they had so much energy, or their brain was thinking so much clearer. So it was really just so eye-opening to see what a difference that the detox that's specifically for your body, that's right for you, would make for someone. It's really amazing. So I'd love to hear more about the health retreats also. There's an immersion experience where people come and they're fully immersed in everything that's right for their body. And I'd love to hear more about the why and kind of your kind of where did you come from in creating that for people, and how can that make a difference in people's lives, not just their body at that moment, but also just how they are in the world.
Yeah, it's a great question, Jules. And so what we've been able to design here is a health and wellness immersion experience. And this is something that goes a lot deeper again from the detox experience. And this is a full immersion in your entire life, as opposed to sort of detoxing a specific pathway in your body. This is a real immersion experience that covers all the different aspects of the 6 areas of epigenetics that you mentioned. So it covers your food, and we have a personalized chef that comes over for any retreat that we fly all around the world, that cooks specific meals based on your unique gene expression, so that every single meal and all the snacks that you have is personalized for you. And some people, it may be the fact that you have like 1 meal a day. For other people, it might be you have 5 meals a day. It's very, very different for everybody that's there. And it's a very, very personalized conversation. It's based on all of your specific gene expression that comes down to that. We have an exercise program that's done for different people at different times of day. Again, we understand that some people should be exercising in the morning, other people should be exercising in the afternoon, some people should be doing a high intensity training session in the morning, some people doing neuromobility in the afternoon, some people should just be doing Tai Chi or deep breathing in the morning and different things. So it's very different for everybody. It depends on who you are as to what sort of things are best for you. And these are the things that we provide. It's a 100% personalized health retreat experience, and it's a full immersion in your body. We have, we have sessions that are there that we take you through to do with your mind, to do with natural talents, to do with social interactions and stress. And it's a really incredible immersion, a full immersion in you. And so in a daily schedule, for example, you may wake up in the morning, you may, depending on who you are, you may move your body. We actually have some people who are on the retreat will get up at 6 in the morning and move their body. Other people will still be asleep and they won't get up till 9 o'clock in the morning because that's healthy for them. So it depends literally on who you are as to how your retreat unfolds. And from that, we'll go into maybe a breakfast that's very, very personalized for you. From there, we might have an experience where we bring everybody together for understanding about the perception in your mind through maybe a meditation or a workshop experience. And again, very individual for you. We understand that some people, meditation is very difficult. Other people, meditation is very natural. Some people have their meditation by being out in nature and walking. Other people need to sit in a quiet room and actually have some quiet downtime because their nervous system is too stimulated. So it's a very individual experience. We go through a lot of the exercises. We have sessions with incredible team that we've handpicked over many, many years. And this is everybody from body workers and therapists like chiropractors and osteopaths and physical therapists, massage therapists, through to, we have nurses on site, we have medical doctors, we have actual healers that come on board to do various things with you. We have mind experts, we have psychologists that are there. So this is a very, like a full immersion in you. And we'll identify the certain areas of your life that need to be improved, and we'll actually immerse you in that experience, but in a way that we actually teach you to do this yourself, so that when you have been through your immersion experience, this isn't something you just come to for a week and then you leave. This is something when you leave, it's just part of your life and you continue that. So you know what times are best for you, you know how to move your body, you know what foods to eat, you know how to perceive the world, you know what sort of things may be blocking you in terms of your mind. We go through a lot of things with psychology sessions and transformational actual sessions to even shift some beliefs and other things that are in your system that may actually be holding you back on how you see the world, and creating some hormones and other things in your system that may not be so healthy. So it's a very, very detailed experience that's there, and it's a fully qualified team that's very, very experienced and has incredible results for people transforming their life. People lose so much weight on these retreats, but also come out of the other side from sleep and digestion and energy levels and all the other things that we spoke about. This is literally a transformational immersion experience in the space of a week, and we're really excited about to bring that to the conversation. We have an incredible structure that happens. We run these all over the world now, and we're excited about that. So there's a time and a place for everybody, and we again aware of the different weather conditions and different exercise routines. But also particularly the interdynamics of what happens in your experience there. And we bring together, it's a really incredible place and space where we have people that will do their own individual journeys on the retreat, but come together at meal times, for example, sometimes, and we'll share literally about what's just happened to you that day. And it just blows everyone away of how someone at the same table on the same retreat or same immersion could have had a completely opposite or completely different experience. And it was exactly what they needed at that time. And whether they've been sleeping in the morning and the other person's been up 3 hours before them to exercise, whether they've had a session that's to do with reprogramming of their mind, or to do with some body work of some things that was in their back pain that was causing their digestive system not to work so well, and that was causing them not to be active in the mornings, or not to be able to enjoy life and go to bed with a smile on their face and be grateful and happy about the world. There's so many different aspects of one's journey that we address on these immersion experiences. It's far more than just a physical conversation. And again, we understand that as human beings, we're far more than just a sack of skin and some cells that live inside it. We actually interact and engage with all these things around us all the time. And our perception of our mind and how we see the world is important. And we actually go through that in a very controlled and very scientific capacity, with helping understand how we can reprogram some certain things with that, as well as the physical body, and making sure we've got that taken care of, as well as other things with interactions all around us. So it's a very deep mind, body and soul experience, and it's transformational. And I'm sure for those who have or haven't heard, you can listen to a whole heap of people with testimonials that have been on these experiences as to how life-changing it is. It's really exciting, Jules.
Yeah, it is exciting. So many people have been, their body and their soul naturally works best in certain conditions and environments, etc. And then they've been conditioned by people, by their situation when they grew up, by all these different factors that have occurred in their life to operate in a way that's a little out of balance for them. And so when they come to the retreat, it's like weaving a whole symphony, like everything is completely designed specifically for them. And all of the treatments, all of the food, all of the immersion experience is woven together to give them that foundation for who they truly are.
And it's true. It's a very, very powerful experience, and I really encourage everybody to check it out if you haven't already. Even just to look at some of the resources around it can really be helpful for you on your journey. And as you shared, Jules, there's a lot of different reasons why people aren't in the place they want to be, and we can help with that. We're qualified to be able to help you in every capacity with that, whether it is a physical restriction that you have that's affecting the way that you see things with your mind, or whether it's the way that you see things with your mind that's affecting your physical experience of life. It's there's no right or wrong, and what we've found is that there's one X doesn't equal Y when we're having these conversations. It's very different for everybody, and for you maybe it is because you have back pain, the fact that you aren't experiencing the world and aren't experiencing the health and happiness that you want. And maybe for someone else, it is the fact that they have conditioning that's been there from when they were younger that doesn't allow them to experience their physical body in the way they want to. So it's a very different conversation for everybody. And we are able to assess that, we're able to see that, and able to have all the experts on hand there to be able to walk you through the other side of that, which is really, really powerful. And most importantly, it's very, very empowering because we set you up for successful life as opposed to just coming for an experience.
Yeah, and I've heard repeatedly people say it's such a lasting experience, that they really went home and that they couldn't believe it because it actually, they'd embodied the changes while they were there in the immersion. They actually embodied the changes. So that's pretty amazing. Yeah.
This is our this is why we run these retreats. It's to say we understand we can provide information for people with PH360 itself as to what to do. We understand we can even have technology to assist you to do that. But for some people, there's just a little bit more that needs to happen just to get over that edge. They need a little bit more assistance. And for those who are listening to that right now, you usually know who you are. You usually go, okay, I've tried these diets, I've done these protocols, I've done whatever else. I do need a bit more help. This is what we run these for, to say, if you're someone like that, it's almost crazy to think that we can go on for 5, 10, 20, 30, 40 years sometimes, which is a lot of the people we see, with a life that's not ideal, that what we want. You can come to something for this in the space of 6 days and have that completely change just like that. So if this does sound like if you're listening to this, then we do have answers, and we'd love to have a conversation with you about it, because that's why we do this. It's something we're just very passionate about, everything that we do, and we understand that there's reasons why people aren't getting where they need to get to, and it's more than what they can do themselves. And so that's why we have these immersion experiences, Jules, just so that people can come and have the extra qualified help to be able to help move them from A to B. And it's such a rewarding thing to do. It's the team and myself are just extremely grateful we can be a part of everyone's journey on that, because it's such a rewarding experience to see someone from where they were to where they are on the other side of just a week in their life. So if you are listening to this again, just do yourself a favor if you feel like that's you, and just come along to something like this, or at least try and find out some more about it, because it really can just change your life. And that's why we're here.
Yeah, and for anybody watching right now, if you're interested, just send an email to retreats@ph360.me and request a phone call. We'd love to connect with you and speak with you about what might be right for you and what, specifically for you, because everyone is different. So feel free to email us and request a phone call. Or we're a global company, so it might be a Skype, but send your Skype and your phone number, and we will definitely connect with you and have conversation. So, okay, Matt, so we've talked about the detox experience. We've talked about personal immersion into your own PH360 health. And even if someone wasn't on PH360, even if you're listening to this and you're not on PH360, we still completely customize and tailor it for you specifically for what you need. So no worries there. But we have another level of a retreat experience that is the spiritual healing experience. And sometimes people are curious about that and wondering, like what is that? Why would they need that? Or how would they know that that would be the direction that they need to go in?
Yeah, so it's a really great conversation here too, Jules. And this is for, I guess, that next level of conversation there to do with the spiritual side of things. And quite often, if you're listening to this, people know if this is for you straight away. You feel like this is the message at the right time. People feel like it's that time in their life where they need to make a big shift, where they feel like they're called to something greater, where they're more interested and focused on their passion and purpose in life. So this is a retreat for those who are really on their spiritual journey, but also for healing. And we understand that when we look at a spiritual conversation, it's a very, very powerful healing space. And so often for people who do have more of a serious health condition or something like that will attend these retreats. We've had many people with muscular dystrophy, with cancers, with many other states of diseases or diagnosed states of diseases that come along for some transformational healing in this capacity. So this is a really, really powerful retreat. Again, very different, and each of these have very different aspects to them. They're all extremely empowering and powerful in their own right. But this is something for those whose time is now from a spiritual walk of life. It's a very, very deep conversation that we have on the retreats, and deep meaning that we go through different experiences and meditations, and we have them in very powerful and spiritual locations all around the world. We've just had one recently in near Tulum in Mexico, near Cancun, where we connected with ancient Mayan civilizations. We have one that's in Bali, connecting with a lot of the deep energetics around the Bali region. So we have all these experiences. We've got one in Sedona very, very soon that's connecting to the energetics around there. So it's a very a deeper conversation about the spiritual path, about the energetics that exist, that we also describe in the science and medicine language, from electrons, from electricity. This is really looking at the energetics of one's person to be able to actually work with that on that healing capacity. So we have a lot of incredible healers that come along to those retreats, and it's very much a conversation and an experience around the spiritual path and about the healing path. So if this is something that's more sounds like you, it's a very, very detailed and very, very deep experience is the best way I could describe it right now. And just to go through a little bit of that, we might, for example, we'll have a certain element each day that we'll focus on. Maybe it may be water, the element for that day. We may go on a journey through to a waterfall. We may have an experience as a group where we go through and swim underneath a waterfall, have a complete immersion experience that's there. We may do some certain, for want of better terminology, some prayers or some meditation experiences that we have around that, and really connect with our spirits, really bring the energies in to be able to help people transform and shift where they need to. We also run a number of different sessions with mind experts to help with transforming and shifting some beliefs and subconscious programs as well. But it's very much angled and based on spiritual connection and reconnection of who you are. And we have an incredible team that can help guide you through that process. And it really is something that's very hard to discover yourself. And so that's why we've designed these retreats, is to help people not just with the healing aspect of a physical issue, but also for those who are ready for that next conversation about their spiritual path. And so we're really lucky to have some really, really great people and incredible people that are on that journey that can assist and facilitate that process for you. And it really is an incredibly transformational retreat. And again, for those that haven't been on one or haven't talked to anyone, you should check out some of the testimonials that people have. It is a complete life-changing experience, and most people come in and have their whole world completely transformed when they leave, and not just from a physical place, but from clarity and from certainty about what they're looking for and why they're here on this planet. That real deep connection with things that are greater than them. That experience is hard to describe, actually.
I know I had the experience myself last November in the healing and spiritual retreat, and one of the things that I think that I can't exactly say why it happened, but one of the baffling experiences that is so amazing is the level of peace that I had in things that before were so conflicting for me, or that caused me to start vacillating in my emotions, because I'm in general I'm an emotional person. I mean, I have a lot of feelings, and there's nothing wrong with that, because that's just who I am. But when the feelings are out of control or they're running my life, that wasn't good, and that could happen. And now I just noticed, especially with like my family and with things that had always been one way, now they're different. And it has been so freeing for me to experience that. And I I couldn't thank everybody enough for that. So I just wanted to share that from my personal experience. So thank you. And one of the things that people always ask too, Matt, is what's the difference? Like, how would someone know? It is a greater investment to go to the spiritual healing retreat. I know that the team is, practically, if not 1-to-1 for each person. It's a little longer. They have, both retreats have all personalized food. They go on adventures and cultural experiences while they're there. They have treatments, body treatments that are, specifically for them. But there's differences between the two. And I wondered if you could just address that, because people are always wondering, which one, or should they do both? What would be the protocol for that?
Yeah, well, that's a good question, Jules. And first, I just wanted to acknowledge you for sharing that and saying thanks for a great experience that you had, and you know firsthand exactly what they're like, and obviously you recommend that to lots of people to do that as well. The experiences, or the difference between those two, the immersion experience versus the spiritual healing retreat, the biggest difference that is there is that the health and wellness immersion is very much about the transforming your physical body and transforming your mind. That's really the focus, is to say, if you feel like you're stuck in the way you're thinking, if you feel like you're stuck in the belief systems that you have, if you feel like you're stuck in some of the physical body that's holding you back, if you feel like you're stuck in getting motivation or inspiration for being healthy and for staying healthy, if you feel like you need all this, it's a transformative experience for everything from your body and mind. It really is. So that's we have a lot of the cultural influences and things that come into that, but it's a very transformative experience for those who are ready to go now. That's something that is there, and it's a lifelong practice. It immerses you in that understanding of what you can do when you go home. So that's if that's what you're ready for. It's a very, very powerful transformation experience in the body and mind. For the spiritual and healing, it's a very, very powerful transformative experience for your spirit, if you like. It's something that if you're looking to say, again, more purpose, more passion questions that you have in your mind, you have a sense of feeling that you're here for something greater, that you're ready to connect with something greater. Maybe you're already spiritual and you need to go to that next step or that next level, or maybe you do have a significant health issue that you're looking for that sort of guidance. That's what's those retreat experiences are for you. So there's a clear difference between the two people, and you'll understand, or you'll know sort of which one's going to be most appropriate for you. And often we have people that come to the health and wellness immersion first, and then want to go on and do a spiritual healing retreat afterwards, which is a really great way, and we really encourage that for a lot of people who want to do that as well. So that's kind of the two differences things there, Jules. And this one here, you'll come out of here feeling complete, like you'll feel completely freedom. You'll feel like this is the health and wellness immersions. You'll feel freedom. You'll feel like your mind is free. You'll feel like you've got all your energy back. You'll feel like you're sleeping better, that your digestion's good, you're clear, you're focused, you're ready to take on life and ready to take on the world. It's really, that's kind of the outcomes that from this experience here. The experience over here, you'll feel that deep peace. You'll feel love. Often, almost everybody has some experience of connection with God or with Source or the universe or something that's greater than them. That's sort of this experience over here. So they're the sort of the difference between the three experiences that we have. And again, we have these, we've developed these and designed these to be able to be of support for you wherever you are in your journey, because we understand that some people just have this thing that needs to change from a detox experience point of view. It's something that can be much quicker, much simpler to clean out some sort of clogged area in your system, to help rebalance and to get you back on track. This here is for those who need a real, good help to get from A to B, that can't do it themselves. And that's why we're here to really transform and change your life. And over here, we're here to facilitate the bigger journey and the bigger conversation. And we just happen to have an incredible team at all the different levels that are very, very qualified and well overqualified to help you on your journey for that, wherever we are for conversation. So I'd love to help any of you who are listening to this right now, wherever you are, wherever you're dialing in from, just to let you know that this is why we're here, to help you on your journey. And we're able to look at you and be able to assist you and be able to assess where you're at and what you need. And we'd love to have a conversation with you about that.
Yeah, no, the team are amazing, and on all levels. There are doctors, there are people who have PhDs, there are all sorts of different types of specialized healers and body workers. I mean, it's pretty amazing. There's just, it's It's incredible. And there's nothing like it. I haven't seen anything like this anywhere. And especially the results, because no matter which experience you attend, the pervasive, amazing thing that happens is there is a profound level of being you, like really coming out and saying, I feel so much like me. And that in itself is an amazing transformational experience that people have across the board in all of the different retreats and experiences. So yeah, it's amazing, Matt, the way that you have put this together, the way that you've trained the healers, the body workers, the people who are these specialized retreat team that come and that are on all the retreats, the way that the programs wove it together. I want to say, I don't want to say this word, but it kind of just fits. It's sort of magical how it all comes together and happens. And the every day, even though it seems like a short time when you're looking at it from before you've attended, but while you're there, it seems like every day lasts forever. And so much transformation and so much change happens in every day that by the time that you've gotten to day 3, you're like, haven't I been here for, like 3 weeks? I mean, it just seems so amazing that across the board in all levels of all those retreats, that you can make those kinds of transformations so quickly. I mean, I'm curious if you have, what do you attribute that to?
Well, I like the word that you use, magical, Jules, because it is quite magical. I don't know the best word to describe it, but when you can be in a space that's a perfect facilitation of what you need, you're the center literally of your own universe, and everybody is waiting on you hand and foot. Everybody's giving you the personal care and attention you need, whether they're feeding you the exact things that your cells are asking for, if they're engaging with you in the right conversations in the right ways, they're having sessions with you to help transform your physical body, to transform your mind, to even connect with spirit and the things that are greater in some of the other retreats. These situations, when you bring those together in such a short space of time, are incredibly powerful, incredibly powerful. And the people that are around there to have you go through that experience, it literally makes it feel like time stops. Every single person, I don't think there's actually one person, we run these retreats for many, many years now, I don't think there's one person that hasn't said that on a retreat. After the 3rd day, they feel like they're here for 3 weeks. It really does feel like time just stands still. And it's because we're able to bring so much power and so much focused attention and energy on just you and give you exactly what you need. And it's as your mind starts to shift, as your physical body starts to shift, it really is. It's a change in perception, a change in perspective, which obviously changes your reality, and your reality is your life. So it's literally a life-changing experience. And as life is changing and literally unfolding before your eyes, it's why it feels like you're there for so long. And it's something, it seems like a week retreat seems like it's a month or a year for most people. It really is. And it's very, very powerful. And I'm really excited to be able to be part of this and part of lots of people's journey to be able to facilitate that, no matter which level they need to come in on and no matter what they need at their journey.
I love being part of this too. So, okay, so I'm getting ready to wrap up here, and I just wondered if, I want to say to everybody again, if you're hearing this and there's a little voice inside of you saying, oh my gosh, I would love to do that, write into retreats@ph360.me, request a phone call. One of our retreat team will give you a phone call, and we would love to assist you on your journey. No matter where you are or what you're dealing with, there's a spot for you, and an exactly perfect place that you can come to revive yourself, to be healed, to experience life in a new way, this way that you might not even believe is possible right now. It's really special. And before we go, Matt, is there anything else that you wanted to share with everybody, just to wrap it up?
Well, I guess the main thing, Jules, is I'm just really grateful to be able to do what I do, and we're all here for whatever purpose we're here for on this journey. Some of us are accountants, some of us are musicians, some of us are here to help with health and medicine and healing aspects. And so I'm just very grateful to be able to be part of your journey. I'd love to see you all on a retreat at some stage if you want to be there, and connect with all of you in that capacity. So I would really encourage everybody to, at least if if any of these experiences feel like it's time for you, just reach out and connect with retreats@ph360.me. because we're here to help you find out what's best for you. There's absolutely no obligation at all. Just go and have a chat with one of our incredible team that can help you understand where you're at and what thing might be best suited for you at which time, and fit that into your circumstances. Because if you are here and you're stuck, or if you are here and you're not where you want to be, we have answers, and we have the capacity and the actual, the way and the means and the methods to be able to shift you into where you want to be. This isn't something that's anything other than that. So why wouldn't you do that? If this sounds like you, just reach out and get in touch, and at least have a conversation to find out some more information, if nothing else, because we'd really love to see you and to help you with your life. Our mission is a large one, and we're out to change the world and make a big, big difference. And so we can do that. But we obviously are here to reach out and say, come and allow us to be part of your journey. And we're really excited about that. So that's all from me, Jules. Thank you all so much for listening into this, wherever you are in the world right now. I really appreciate the fact that you've invested some time into learning more about this, and I hope that some of this resonates with you and we can be of assistance on your journey. I hope to see you at some stage in the future.
Yeah, thank you so much, Matt, for being here, for making the time in your day to come and share with us. I love it. And for all of you out there, we love you guys, and we're here for you. Reach out. We'd love to connect. All right? So take care, and thanks, Matt. Bye, everybody.
Thanks, Jules. Thanks, everybody. Bye for now.